As a country once regarded as the greatest, our failing education system is partly responsible for our country's regression. Having the opportunity to be raised within the United States and go through the K-12 system, it made me interested in researching the shortcomings of our public education. My speech will depict the catalyst behind the falling of the American public school system, emphasizing how a lack of funding, excessive standardized testing, and political and ideological conflicts threaten the integrity and effectiveness of our public education. Let's start with first how the lack of funding is setting schools up for failure. Across the nation, we're underfunded over $150 billion, and this is in turn causing a lack of teachers and less support for students. For the graph you see on the left, you could tell that the decline in average teacher's pay accounting for inflation across 10 years. As you could see, the pay is decreasing compared to what it's supposed to be. And this in turn forces teachers to not want to become teachers anymore, as the pay is not allowing them to be on a livable wage. And this in turn hurts the students, as less prepared teachers are having less school supplies, and it simply cuts school funding, as no after-school tutoring can be offered and less textbooks could be afforded to help these students learn. Now you know one of the reasons lack of funding is behind the failing of the public school system. Let's look at a reason within the classroom: excessive standardized testing. Anna Commit states in the January 2015 article titled "What Schools Could Use Instead of Standardized Testing" on the newsletter online that standardized testing is an outdated system that contains multiple extraneous variables that can impact a student's testing, such as testing anxiety, and doesn't count any disorders or learning disabilities that the student has. And simply, this system places too much emphasis on testing, and it shifts the focus to, instead of actually learning the content, to instead learning how to make an A. And instead of learning the content, these students are learning how to take the test instead, which is resulted in the image on the right showing how scores are more important than actually learning. Now let's take a look at the root problem: political and ideological conflicts. These political and ideological conflicts lead to inconsistency within the patchwork of system of public schools. According to James Schull in his article "Paradoxes of Public School," the inconsistency is due to each state implementing its own set of standards and curriculum across the nation. As you can see in the picture on the left, that each state has a different leveling of success in education, showing that the best schools are having the highest number while the worst schools are the lowest. As you could see across the nation, it varies, and this is due to the political conflicts in each state implementing their own standards for each test. Also, the controversy teaching certain subjects such as biology and other natural sciences, as it conflicts with religious views. In conservative states, religion is a huge issue, as they are fighting to be taught what is life and how is life formed in the planets and how it conflicts with other religious views. In conclusion, the lack of funding, excessive standardized testing, and political and ideological conflicts are the catalysts behind the falling of the American public school system. If this trend continues, we're only robbing ourselves and the future of this country of its greatest potential. Thank you.